Japan. I'm JJWalsh here in Hiroshima. And today we are talking about Earthship and Asia's first, Japan's first Earthship is in Tokushima. And I have the chance to talk with the founder today, Tomoko-san, and she is joining us to share some of the insights about creating the Earthship and running a guest house from the Earthship. So thank you so much for joining today, Tomoko-san.
Thank you so much. Thank you invited this opportunity, Joy-san. Thank you.
This is so wonderful. And Keiko-san is also joining us today. Keiko will be having a language support role once again. よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
お願いします。
お願いします。
So Tomoko-san, I first want to hear a little bit about your backstory. I read that one of the reasons you wanted to start more ecological building design like Earthship was because of the 2011 disaster in Tohoku. Can you talk a little bit about how that changed the way you were thinking about energy and resource use?
Yes. Yes, I had a earthquake in Yokohama, nearby Yokohama. I was living over there, and yes, I had a big earthquake, but not broken house, not only just only experience, and yes, but my in thinking is so changed that timing, but I mean just all changes, not a little bit by little bit, and more changed my thinking. Yes, and the first, yes, you said energy. For energy, we use the energy every day, and so 日本語で話しますね、ここから。
どうぞ。
私、毎日ずっとちっちゃい頃から生まれてからずっと何にも気兼ねなく使っていた日本の電気がの作られ方も私は分かっていたんですけど、それを全然意識もしないで使っていたっていうことをあの地震が私にすごくそれをこう直面させられたというか、そういう出来事でしたね。
Okay. She has. She already knew that how the electricity is produced in Japan. But since she was little, she has been using such electricity without being aware of the importance of the electricity. But after the earthquake, she started thinking about the importance of this electricity. And okay,
I think after
もう一つだけ。
after 3/11, a lot of people started thinking more carefully about the environment and about electricity and how we are getting our energy, how we are using our energy. So you started thinking more clearly, more carefully about those problems, right?
Yes. で、日本語でちょっと言います。私は原子力発電自体はとてもニュートラルなものだと思っています。とてもただ単に、すごくたくさん効率よく作れるエネルギーを作るシステムで、それを私たちが、何も反対しなかったからできていたっていうことで、それ自体がその善とか悪っていうことではないと思っています。ただ、 今の時点で私がそのとごく直面して感じたのは、この多分世界中のでも私たち人間っていうものはまだそのとても効率よく作れるエネルギーなんだけれども、それが何かがあった時の対処の仕方をまだ私たち人間っていう種族は誰も対処ができないことが来た時のその速やかに対処ができることを誰も知らないんだっていうことをあの時にすごく思ったんですね。で、子供がなんかまだ例えば子供が乗ってもというか、正しいかわからないですけど、なんかまだ私たちには完璧に使いこなせる道具ではないんじゃないかなっていうのをその時に感じました。
Okay. About the nuclear power plant, she basically thinks that the nuclear power plant, power generating is a very efficient method to produce electricity. And we didn't oppose to it so for a long time. But after this earthquake and then this accident at the power plant, nuclear power plant, she noticed that as a humankind, no one knows how to deal with such accident. So which means we are not ready to use the nuclear power. She started thinking like that.
Yeah, interesting. So after the Fukushima disaster, then she started thinking more about how we make energy. And we're not quite ready to use nuclear power yet. It seems like we're not doing it well enough yet, right? Now, I read a really interesting challenge that she had, that for 1 month after the disaster, she tried not to use any electricity at all. And then she realized actually electricity is kind of useful. So maybe I need to go back and use it, but just be a bit more efficient. I would love to hear how that month went. How difficult is it to live without energy? 100% must be so difficult, right?
いや、とてもすごいチャレンジでしたけど、その時まだ徳島こちらのにいなくて、その横浜の方にいたので、普通の住宅アパートに住んでました。で、アパートだったので、電源をポチってこう下ろせば、電気は止まるなって思って、このなんか私のままならないこのどうしたらいいかわからない気持ちは、とりあえずやめてみるっていうところから始まって、1ヶ月。でも夏だったからできたと思います。その時思ったのは、そう思ったのはっていうか、夏だったからできた。そして、午前中にほぼ全てのことをして、午後はもうすごい暑くなっちゃう。アパートで暑かったので、午後はもうダーッとして、で、もう夕方の日が暮れるまでに布団も引いて全てをコンプリートして、すぐ寝るみたいな、生活を1ヶ月しました。全然楽しくなかったですけどね。でもね、やりたくなって、やらずにはいられなくてやりましたね。
Sounds really hard. Keiko, can you tell us a little bit about what she said?
After a month later from the earthquake, she started this challenge not to use electricity. But at that time, she was still in Yokohama. She was living in that apartment. And then she just decided to challenge not to use the electricity there. And once she just determined, I will not use the electricity, and then she just turned down the breaker, and no electricity was supplied. And she thinks that it was summertime, that's why she could do it. And what she did was, in the morning she just did whatever she could, and in the afternoon it became a little bit hot to move around, so she just finished all the stuff in the morning. And when the evening came, she just put the futon, set the futon, and then more, that was the only thing she could do. She did just sleeping at the evening.
Yes.
And it was not fun at all, but it was really it was tiring, but she couldn't help herself doing that, doing this challenge.
But it's such a good story. Like, what a great idea. Even if it's not fun, it's just such a great thing to say, I did it for 1 month. I did no energy usage. Like, how cool is that? Most people can't do that, right? Awesome.
Yeah.
And then you started researching about more sustainable lifestyle, more sustainable building design. And then you found information about Earthship. Is that right?
Yes, and finished months, and I realized they need electric system. Yeah, because the first 冷蔵庫がない口は無理だってその時に思ったんですね、私は。人によると思いますよ。私が絶対ではないですよ。ただ私の暮らしとしては、夏だからかもしれない。冷蔵庫はもう絶対に止めたくないってその時に思って、で、その電気を必要としない暮らしを求めているんではなくて、電気があるけれど、その電気の元が、でも今皆さんそういうふうに考えていると思い、そういう方向になってきてるんだなっていう気はしますけど、その時の、2011年とか12年、自分が1ヶ月やった体験から、私は電気に対して何かを感じてるんではなくて、電気の元に何かを感じているんだっていうことを、やっと気がついて、遅いんですけど、それで、ジョイさんがおっしゃる通りに、リサーチを始めて、すぐではないんですけど、多分もういろんな言葉でリサーチしました。最初は多分日本人だし、日本語でエコハウスとか、その頃オフグリッドハウスっていう言葉も日本ではそこまで浸透してなかったし、私が知ってもいなかったような気もするので、多分エコとか多分ロハスっていう言葉がすごく浸透し始めてたくらい。だからロハスとか、なんかそんな言葉でいっぱいずっと毎日、とても時間もあったので、やってましたね。で、ネットで最終的にこのアースシップっていう建物を見つけました。
Yeah. So basically in summer, not using the refrigerator would be really hard. Like maybe you could survive with just open windows, with no AC, with maybe a fan, but no refrigerator. That's really hard, right?
Yes.
Keiko, what any other big points that she learned?
Okay, she, as you said, like she had a really difficult time not to use the fridge, and then she realized that she needs electricity anyway. But the problem was the resource of the electricity. So it's not using electricity. It's the problem of the resource of electricity. So she started making research about electricity. And then at that time in Japan, words like rohas or eco house was spreading. So she just started using those keywords in Japanese, and then little by little she started reaching to other words like off-grid house, which was not so common in Japan at that time. And eventually she got to the information about this Earthship on the internet.
Yeah. And Earthship is such a sustainable design style. You're not only using energy more efficiently, but you're also using water, catching water, reusing the water for growing food, as well as for wastewater use or using in the garden. So insulation, using waste as a part of the building design. There are so many sustainable features in Earthship which are very unique and different from other kinds of like eco house or sustainable building. So you did a crowdfunding campaign for 40 million yen. Is that right? And then you also brought Michael Reynolds, who is the American architect who created the design originally for Earthship. Him and his team came out and helped you build it from 2018 and then finished in 2019. Is that right? It's just so interesting and amazing.
Yeah. そのとり、yes. 何を話したい
Is there anything, well, I would like to show the video of your YouTube channel when you're walking through and showing the house and showing the rooms.
Yes, yes.
So while we're walking through, if you want to make a comment or tell us a little bit about what we're seeing. So this is the bathroom toilet, is it?
No, it's okay. This is for guests.
Now,
So,
I like
yes.
the reuse of glass inside the walls is
Yes.
such a nice feature of the Earthships, and
Ah.
you see it here in the wall, right? The reuse of the glass. It looks kind of like stained glass design.
Yeah.
And the toilet, is it a regular style toilet with a septic tank, or is it a compost toilet?
No, not compost. It's just flashing water. It's so normal, a normal toilet style in Japan. Yeah.
I heard for the reuse of the bottles and the cans and the tires,
Yes.
it's actually very efficient building materials. What one of the Earthship videos from Michael Reynolds says is sometimes reusing the waste material is a better material than new building materials. It's such an interesting point.
Yeah.
Did you also reuse any of the wood, or is the wood from the local area?
Yes. But all material is reused, not. 普通のこうホームセンターで買ってくる木材もたくさん使ってます。最初の予定ではすごくこう地元の木材をたくさん使う予定で、計画をしていましたが、この家はなんでかっていうと、この家自体が、圧縮化の設計なので、2倍材、わかりますか ?2x4。以下のインチと、フィートのサイズの、もう、ホームセンターで売ってる木のサイズで全部の材料を、 もうできてる。それがこう、もう設計の中に組み込まれていて、日本のメートルとかセンチの木材とはちょっとサイズが合わなくて、もう無理をするというか、もっと頑張ればできたと思うんですけど、そこまでの私のこう余力とかこう時間的なこう考えとかもいろんなことも含めてもそのままオーダーこの材料ですよっていう2倍材を使ったので、日本のその徳島の木を全てに使いましたっていうわけではないです。ただお部屋の天井部分とかは結構徳島の杉の間伐材を使ったりしています。
Okay. About the wood material, they used a lot of actually they had to use a lot of wood materials from the home center. Because of the size problem, and this building is made under the direction of American architect, and the design itself is also is like in a Western style, not in Japanese style, and size of the wood material needs to be not in a metric, but it's for like a standard American standard size, like so 2 by なんていうの Joy?
2 by 6, 2 by 4.
It's called 2x4s. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
2 feet by 4 feet, maybe. Yeah.
Well, they just of course if they just use local material, it takes longer time and much more time and power, so they just decided to use the materials which are available at the home center, and but for the ceiling of the building, they use the local Tokushima's local wood, cedar material. Okay, can you hear
Beautiful.
me?
Beautiful. Yeah. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And yeah, so because they were using the American architect's design, it was probably easier because of the design specifications to use the American size wood and everything.
That's right.
So using home center, I see, would be a bit easier. Doing the walkthrough again. I have so many points I want to ask questions about. So I love this sunroom and garden and eating area. And one of the key features of sustainability and, of course, comfort as well for this Earthship design is the constant temperature of 21 degrees all year. And for me, feeling cold in my house in winter and feeling hot in my house in summer, this is very attractive, right? So the price of 40 million yen or $400,000 seems like a lot. But if you add there is no cost for heating and cooling, you really can save a lot of money over time. I want to ask about growing food. Growing some vegetables inside the house or outside the house seems to be one of the key concepts of the Earthship. Has she been able to grow some of her own food?
Sorry, translate. 私の捉え方が間違えてるかもしれないけど、野菜作られてますか？作ってます。Yes, I made a vegetable. 今はキュウリを I made a cucumber now. And ちょっと前はトマトを作ってましたね。 で、あと何か質問になってましたっけ、けいこさん。
大丈夫です。はい。
大丈夫ですか？
About the design, this is the guest room, or this house has 2 bedrooms, right? One of
Yes.
them is for you to use, and then one is for the guest. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, right.
And this, I love this design of the ceiling with all the wood and then the hole in the middle. Is
Yeah.
this part of the like a air circulation system, or what is the reason for this design? Can you tell us?
You mean the skylight? You mean the skylight? Yeah. That's just for light, for siding light. それとあと日本の建築法として、光をお部屋の中に、居室の中に入れなければいけないっていう、決まりもあって、このぐらいの最高を取らなくちゃいけないっていうのがあって、ここは壁の周りはタイヤで土なので、上から明かりを取るっていうことで、上にこう、ああいう風な感じで丸く光を取る窓が開いています。
So this is partly because of the Japanese regulation. The whole wall part is covered with なんて言うんだったっけ
Tire?
Tires, car tires, and also like what is it? Wall. There is no window on the wall. Okay. In that case, they need to take the light from the ceiling. And in Japanese regulation, they need to get some lights in the room. So there is no window on the wall. That's why they needed to put a hole or window on the ceiling so that they can take in some lights. That is the design for
It's so
this.
beautiful. I love that natural light coming into the bedroom. How gorgeous. So there's no window, but there is like a ventilation hole at the back. Is that what we're seeing here?
Yeah. So yes. This is so natural cooler. I mean, yes. これは日本語で話します。外にも土の地面の外にも同じようなこう扉があって、どっちも開けると土の中をこうチューブが通っているので、夏もしこの丸い部屋の温度が上がった時にどっちも開けると天然クーラー、冷たい空気が土の中で冷やされた空気がそこの中にこう扉を開けると出てくるので、天然のクーラーですね。
This is kind of a natural cooler. In the summertime, of course, the temperature inside of the room goes up. But actually, this small window is connected to a tube, which is buried in the ground all the way. And there is at the opposite side of the tube has also a door. And then when you open the both door, the air comes in to the tube and cool down in the ground. And then the cold air flows into the room. That's why they can call it a natural cooler.
Is this where they open for summer? Is this where the tube is in the back of the house?
I'm sorry. けいこさん、お願いします。
はい。そうですね。これが反対側のドアですかって。チューブがつながってる。
そうです。Yes.
Yeah, it looks really cool, like a secret entranceway, but it's for air circulation. How interesting. Another key part, of course, which I was very interested in, is the water catchment system. So along the roof, this roof style, and then there's gravel, and a lot of rain is caught, and then the rain is reused in the house and filtered before use. 99% of all the bacteria or bad things are taken out and reused in the house. Can she talk about the water catchment and the water reuse a little bit?
今おっしゃった通りで、日本語で言いますので、恵子さん、please translate。
頑張ります。
はい。簡単になるべく話します。日本語で飛躍しやすいように。ジョイさんがおっしゃったように、そこで全部のだから屋根がアースシップは屋根ができるだけ広い方がいいんですね。雨がたくさんの水を集水で、なるべく屋根を広く取るっていうのが結構アースシップの特徴で、それをスロープを伝って地面の中にこの日本のアースシップの場合は合計で6トン分の雨水を最高で貯められるように貯水タンクが埋まってるんですね。で、その雨水埋まって、貯水した、今おっしゃったように小石ももちろんフィルター代わりになってきれいに最初少しして、最終的に家の中にこれはアースシップのオリジナルのろ過システム、フィルターシステムがここでおっしゃったように本当にもう 99% 以上ろ過します。ただここはゲストハウスなので他の国ではアメリカとかではシステムだけでもう完璧の私がここで立ててみて分かったことは、水の許可パーミットみたいなのってやっぱり国によってすごく違うみたいなんですね。これ大丈夫よみたいな基準が。でアメリカだと誰かから聞いたのはもう州によっても違うらしくってその辺は結構一律にシステムだけでもうすごい完璧なミネラルウォーターっていうわけでは国によってないかもしれない。で日本の、ここはゲストハウスこうやってお客様にこうやってゲストハウスで泊まってもらうので旅館業というか簡易宿所ゲストハウスなので、もうちょっとだけ日本の浄化システムというか、簡単な浄化フィルターをつけました。で、もう飲み水までそれでもう飲み水まで全部できます。
Okay.
長くなっちゃった。はい。
大丈夫。頑張ります。So, as you see, the roof, the more roof, so it's better. If you get a wider roof, you can collect more water, right? So that's why this building has a lot of roof, and there is a slope which just goes along on the slope. The rainwater goes along the slope, and then it goes into the ground part. And as you mentioned, there are some tiny stones, gravels, and then it is the first filter, and it goes into the big tank, which can hold about 6 tons at the maximum. And then the water in the tank will be filtered with this special filter. And then in America, the water filtered with this system can be provided inside of the house. There is no problem. But of course, in Japan, and especially this is the guest house, the regulation is a little bit stricter than the normal usage in America. So she added extra filter in addition to this big tank filter, and then using double filtered, and they can just drink the water there.
So they can drink the water after the filtration system. They can drink the water which originally came from rainwater.
Rainwater,
Right?
yes.
That's amazing. That's such a game changer. I'm noticing my home water use. We are trying to be as efficient as possible, but the cost of water is going up and up every year. And of course, to get water to my home, you have to use energy. You have to rely on the infrastructure system, right? But if you can catch rainwater and filter it there and use it there, you are saving so much, not only cost, but it's so much more efficient. And as people who take from the city water, we will pay more and more. You will pay the same or even less over time, right? So it's really a great investment to have this rainwater system as a part of your building design. I was so excited to see that. And I think it looks really stylish too. It looks really cool, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think so. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the other things I saw in the video here, let's go back to the video. I love this tour. So when you are in the bathroom here, so one of the things people might think is it's like camping or even glamping, but it's not. This is a really modern design, very comfortable, modern experience guest house. It just happens to be very efficient, right? So even in the shower and bath, are you reusing the rainwater system?
Yes, of course.
And then how is the water heated?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Good point. Yes. We use the solar system heater, right? 合ってるかな？太陽温水器ですね。太陽温水器で温めてます。お湯を。で、太陽温水器。
Solar water heater, I think.
Yeah,
It's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
太陽温水器で温めていますが、冬場でもすごく使える、ちょっとなんか最近の真空型の太陽温水器を使ってるので、冬場の寒い時期でも温度が結構上がってくれる太陽温水器なので、それでだいたいお湯は賄えています。ただ、もう本当に雪の日とかで、その太陽温水器がお湯を沸かせないときは、ガスを、ガスに関しては、地元の、プロパンガスを入れて、プロパンガスが、だから火の調理はプロパンガスなんですね。なので、そのプロパンガスの給湯器で、太陽温水器でお湯の温度が賄えないときは、自動的にガスの給湯器が作動して、自動的に、お湯の温度にしてくれる。ちょっと、トランスレートが複雑だろうか。
So basically, she uses a solar heater to warm the water to a certain temperature. But in the winter, of course, it's very cold and the water is cold. So it's a little bit tough to raise the temperature. But still, she introduces a heater system, which is like a vacuumed type, which is a new type, and it's easier to raise the temperature to a certain level. But still, sometimes it's really cold. It's a little bit, it's not enough to heat the water. So in such case, they use gas, propane gas, to heat up the water. And actually, this system is automatically switched from the solar heater to a gas heater. And so there is no problem to supply hot water here.
This is something I came across when I was researching the Earthship styles. Of course, you have to adjust area by area of the world where you are building this. And I just want to mention, once again, this is Japan's only official Earthship. And this is probably still Asia's only Earthship. So this is still very unique in Japan. And this Earthship design, according to the website, there's only 1,500 around the world. So this is still kind of a new developing design. But there's so much potential for future use, I think, especially like you have used, Tomoko-san, in the rural area. It seems like a perfect way to design your building. Maybe you have to use some propane, like you said, or some fossil fuels, or you have to buy most of your food still from the supermarket, but you are on the way to becoming off-grid, to becoming self-sustaining, right? And I think even that first step is so rare in Japan and so important to start aiming in this direction. So even though it's not 100% off-grid, even though it's not 100% self-sustaining, I think it's still really important and really exciting. And how have your guests responded to the experience staying here? Tell me something the guests have said after they stay. Do they appreciate it?
Yeah.
このゲストの反応を聞きたいってことですね。
はいはいはい。
ゲストの反応はいろいろですけど、やっぱり温度を確かめたいっていう人が多いです。どのぐらいの本当に何もやっぱり日本は四季がどこの場所でもあるので、やっぱり寒かったり暑かったりいろんな季節があるので、その季節をすべて何も使わずに本当に暮らしてるんだろうかっていうのを、暮らせることなんてあるんだろうかっていうのを一番皆さんやっぱりここまで来る方はそれを一番確かめたくて来る。私も最初やっぱりこの建物をした時にそれが一番すごく興味の対象だったので、すごくわかります。あとは雨水を全てに利用してるっていうことをで日本ではあんまり例がないのかなと思っていて、それもやっぱりすごく皆さんトイレまで水洗でオフグリッドで使えるっていうことにやっぱりその水とやっぱり温度かなにすごく興味を持ってきますね。
So guests come to visit this Earthship want to know two things mainly. One is temperature adjustment, and then second one is water usage. And first thing, the temperature. Of course, Japan has 4 seasons, and sometimes it's really hot, humid, or like sometimes it's really cold. And guests also herself wanted to make sure this Earthship facility can be comfortably livable under the controlled temperature. Even hot weather, they can use this natural cooler, and then cold in the cold weather, they can just have some kind of heating, heated air or water. That was one of the things the guests want to know. or make sure or check. And the other thing is the rainwater usage. All the water used here is coming from rain, and even a toilet is flushable using water. So it might be a very rare case in Japan using, even though they are using a rainwater, they can just live there and then use water in the same manner as the urban area.
Yeah. That's really, really exciting, I'm sure, for a lot of guests to see that that is possible. This is a new potential, right? One of the things that I heard about for other people around the world who have Earthship, if they are using off-grid or only using solar, and I know that Tomoko-san has said this on her guest house information as well, it's very difficult to have electrical appliances that use a lot of energy. So they can't use a hair dryer. You can't have a dryer for your clothes. A woman in Canada said even for using the washing machine, you have to time it for when it's really sunny and the solar panels have full power or something. So is there some kind of consideration about when to use electrical appliances, or some adjustment she had to make from difference from staying in like a typical house?
そうです。ドライません。Yes, we can't use air and こたつこたつ Yes, basically, I think we cannot use the hot heater. Yes, heater system. We cannot use, and yes, basically we can use wash machine, but yes, you said like today we can use I mean many sunlight day, yeah, we can use wash machine only the day, and yes,
so it just takes a little adjustment, right?
Yes.
It's not a totally different experience.
Yeah,
You just have to think about it a little bit more, right?
Yes, but I think so interesting, and I'm enjoy this experience. Yes, of course, because of course, so different normal life. I mean, so we use the heater and mixer and wash machine. It is we can not this Earthship, but it's some fun for me. だ捉え方だと思うんですよね。どういうふうにその体験を私たち、アースシップに住む人がどう捉えるかだと思っていて、今までの暮らしをそのまま、そっくりここでできるわけではない。今のところ。おっしゃったように、100% の、だから、パーフェクトではない。けれども、なんていうかな、パーフェクトで出来上がっているものでは、完璧にもうこれ以上のなんかこう、トライは必要ないっていうわけではないから楽しいというか、そこにクリエイティブなことがこう自分で何か工夫したりすることをこう余地があるというか、のりしろというかな、そういうのをすごく私は楽しんでいます。 多分だから他の国のアースシップに住んでる人たちもそういう思いは住むと皆さん強くなるんじゃないかなと思います。だ自分なりにこうちょっとこう工夫したり、はい。
ごめんなさい、いいですか? Is this okay? Okay, sorry. It's all about how guests and people living in this Earthship accept the lifestyle there. Of course, it's not 100% done. There are some space which she and they can create the ideas and add ideas, and there are some space for additional creative idea. That is the fun part of living in this Earthship. And herself also, she is also having fun and try to be creative to improve some parts, or like adding some ideas. And that is the common that is a common thing among the people living in Earthship, she thinks.
Yeah. So interesting. One key difference, I think, between Earthship and passive house or eco house or other types of more sustainable living is the reuse of waste materials. And tires in particular are used a lot in the Earthships. Some of the Earthships have more than 1,500 tires per house. I came across some of the data. I can't see exactly how many tires she used, but most countries around the world, tire waste is a big problem, including Japan. There is no way to recycle or reuse tires usually, and the tire design is really wonderful for insulation. It's like a perfect design. If you fill it with soil, it becomes a great way to build your walls and make good insulation. How many tires did you use? And was it easy to get the tires for free from the waste center or donations?
We used the 800 800 合ってる ?800 800本使ってますね。で、画面止まってますか？止まってない？本当にあれ止まってるのは私の画面。まあいいや。800本使ってます。で、集めるのは、タイヤはあまり難しくないです。日本では多分。わかんないですけどね。県によると思います。私の場合は、フルタイヤの業者さんに頼んで、持ってきてもらいました。ただ、やっぱりそれも、廃棄業者さんからなので、県の、環境なんとか、そういう、許可がやっぱりたくさん家を一軒建てるっていうことなので、許可はたくさん取りました。なんかタイヤを集めるっていうことに関しても許可を取りました。はい、
So her Earthship uses 800 old tires, and actually it's not that difficult to get tons of tires. Of course, it might be depending on the prefecture, but her place, it was not such a difficult thing to do. And she got old tires from a special old tire dealer. But a little bit difficult part, a challenging part was she needed to get lots of permissions from prefectural environmental office. And yeah, she just needed to build a house using old tires. So she thinks that's why she needed to get a bunch of permissions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because insulation is one of the most expensive and the most difficult parts of remodeling old houses like Akiya. This is something a lot of people who buy the old house and pay to fix it up often really have to think about how much insulation. So if you can use waste as insulation, if you can use the waste tire, if you can use the wasted bottles, wasted cans, and cardboard as well. There's a lot of wasted materials reused in Earthships. And I love the idea that some of the wasted material actually works better than the new material from the home center or the construction company. So that really saves money, but it's more effective. It seems like even just that part of remodeling in Japan could be used more. It's so exciting to see that you used it so well. Where did you get the bottles and cans from? Was that from your neighborhood or just from your collection?
You mean cans? Can glass? Glass is
And
缶や
glass
缶
bottles,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. 空き缶に関しては、そうです。近所の人からおっしゃったように集めました。We collect cans, so many cans. 缶はすごい、it's easy for me, because we can, 缶はたくさんみんな使うんですよね。どこのお家でも使うというか、まあ、多分、まあ、ジュースとかビールとか、割と空き缶に関しては日本では多分集めやすいと思います。普通の近所から。ただ、空き瓶に関しては日本では難しかったです。日本というか、まあ、この地域では。それも本当に住んでる場所の法律とかそういったことにもよると思うので、一概に絶対に日本ではこうですっていうふうには言い切れないけど、私が集めた感じで言うと、空き瓶が多分一番集めづらいというか、意外と集めるのが、難しかったです。
いいですか？はい。it was easy to collect cans because it seems to be very なんていうのかな can seems to be very common in Japan. So it was not difficult to collect the cans from neighbors. But on the other hand, glass was difficult to collect. Maybe it's depending on the prefecture and the area of Japan. But there seems to be less glass in this area. So it was a bit challenging for her to collect glass.
Yeah. I'm sure every area, even in Japan, it's area to area, you would have different challenges and different easy points, right? We only have a couple minutes left. Thank you so much. I've learned so much about your design and everything. I just want to introduce your website and the services that you provide. So you offer consulting if people are interested in designing an Earthship style building. People can, of course, stay in the guest house, a beautiful stay. And you do tours as well, right?
Yeah. Yes, we have tours. Yes.
So doing consulting, is that for any kind of remodel project, or if people are interested in doing Earthship as well? What kind of consulting is that?
So 日本語で言います。皆さんやっぱり自分の家をアースシップとして建てたい方っていうのはやっぱりたくさんいて、やっぱりこの家自体が日本では本当にまあ 皆さん知ったのはここで知った方も多いので、どうしたら建てられるかとか、さっきジョイさんもおっしゃってたような、その古い家を古民家を買ったり持ってるけど、それをこのアースシップのなんかこうちょっとシステムを取り入れたりすることができるかどうかっていうのをちょっと相談したいとか話したいっていう方がご相談来ます。
はい。Actually, there are so many people who want to build Earthship style house. And the major question is how to build this kind of Earthship style house. And also, she also gets some questions about how to introduce this this Earthship idea and method into old houses. Some people got old houses, and then they want to renovate those old houses, but they're wondering how they can introduce the idea or method of this Earthship. And that kind of question seems to be a lot. She gets.
Yeah. Wonderful. So everybody please have a look. And of course, the link will be below as well. Earthshipmima.com. All one word, no spaces. Beautiful photos of the building and the design and the process. You can also book your stay at the guest house through the website as well. So thank you so much, Tomoko, for talking with us and sharing about your exciting Earthship MIMA project. I can't wait to visit for myself someday.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joy さん and Cake さん。ありがとうございます。ぜひ来てください。いつか。
And thank you so much, Keiko-san. Great job with the translation.
So nervous about that. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. And hopefully this sparked some good ideas about how you can create a more sustainable way of living. Thank you so much, Tomoko.
Thank you so